Yeah, hi all. Let me introduce myself. My name is Sandeep Marpanda. I have total of 6+ years of experience in IT and Snowflake. I have 5 years of experience. So till the starting, I am working on with the financial accounts like Nordea Bank, banking sectors, and energy sector. So for the Snowflake part, the theoretical knowledge, all those things is fine. But whenever it is coming to for the interview process and when you are working on the project side, you need the real-time scenarios and you need like where the Snowflake is working and how it is working. See, if you're working on SQL, if you're working in Oracle, that almost a part of the Snowflake itself. Because in Snowflake also we are writing the SQL queries and all those things. But what new comes to with the Snowflake? Why we are using the Snowflake? Why companies recommended to use the Snowflake instead of other things like Oracle and other things like Teradata or like basically I'm working on the migration projects. So in the migration, they are migrated from Teradata to Snowflake or ClickSense to Snowflake and Power BI and like that they have migrated. For the current the Siemens project is been from ClickSense to Snowflake. So like that. So in the migration project is also helping you to understand like why we are shifting from any other sources of any production that is they are currently running to why we are coming to the Snowflake side itself. Because it's easy to understand. It's the it is entirely a SaaS platform and all those things. There are all the features that is we have in Snowflake. So in the let me share my screen and what are the things that we cover up entirely in the course. Okay, let me share the screen. Can you see my screen? Okay, I take it as yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks. So,
Yes.
if you are interacting, then the session will be more easier and need to be easier to understand like what other things will be there. Okay, so let's interact. Okay, we all are in IT sectors and we all are in a friends circles. Okay, colleagues. So yeah, so coming to the Snowflake side itself, first this session is almost take something around 25 sessions, max 25. So 20 will be Snowflake and 5 will be the DBT. Okay. So first in a Snowflake concept, what will we cover like what is cloud computing, data warehouses, Snowflake data warehouses, architecture part. In interview also, the first question they are asking like what is architecture, what's the virtual warehouses, what's the Snowflake pricing, Snowflake versions. So what are there? This is a startup means start of a Snowflake whenever you are starting giving the interview in Snowflake, the first question is like, what's the architecture? What are the version that you are using? These two questions are same. Every company is asking these two questions. Okay. After that, the key concept of architecture, cloud platform, editions, this version part that I am saying, Snowflake editions. What are the key features, data life cycles, and continuous data protection? How does Snowflake keep the data protection like MFA factors? If you know, the Snowflake has the multi-factor authentication, key authorizations, users management. These are the things how Snowflake handles all those things. Okay, and how we can log into Snowflake. So Snowflake is giving you 1 month of free trials. So that is actually $400 of uses. Like whatever the account or whatever the uses, you can create a table, you can drop, you can use a Snowpipe, anything you can use in a Snowflake itself. That is entirely for a 1 month of a trial period and or $400. $400 is like whatever the uses that you are using in Snowflake. Like you are creating a table, the Snowflake is taking charges for storage cost. So that is cut down from your $400. You are using a Snowpipe. So usage of a Snowpipe is taking the charges. You are running a virtual warehouses. So that running time is taken by the Snowflake. That running of that virtual warehouse, how many minutes it is running, how many seconds it is running, is taking the charges. These are the three charges, pricing points that is Snowflake is taking you. One is your storage, the second is your virtual warehouse, and another one is your Snowpipes. So like whatever the Snowpipe that you are running is taking the charges for those things. And other things like that views, materialized views, dynamic tables, all those things that is using your Snowflake. So they are taking the charges for those things. That's come under your storage cost only. Okay. I will explain you what are the things of Snowflake pricing and all those things. Loading of data, how we are load the table in Snowflake. The Snowflake having the internal and external stage. External stage is like you are loading the data from AWS S3 or GCP or Azure container. So how you are loading into the directly into the Snowflake, or you want to load your local file into the Snowflake. Like you have an employee record of 50, and you want to directly load into the Snowflake. How you can able to load it? So data loading options in Snowflake, bulk loading. So if you know, like Snowflake having two types of loading: bulk loading and incremental loading. Bulk is like whenever you are doing any migration for any of a client, the client wants for 2 to 3 years of entirely record of his production data inside of a Snowflake. So at that time itself, that is a back records. Means currently it is for 2025. They want from 2023, 3, 4, 5. So 3, 4 all are going into a bulk loading, and for the currently loading of daily basis, that is called as incremental loading. Load data from S3 bucket, that is AWS, loading JSON data in Snowflake. So structured data, semi-structured data, how we can load the data into a Snowflake, we are able to know about these things. Okay. After that, time travel features, like in Snowflake, we have the max of 90 days, but it depends upon your version in part. So Snowflake having 4 versions: standard, enterprise, business critical, and VPS. So on that basis itself, we are getting this time travel features, means 90 days of time travel.
One second, Sandeep, I have one doubt here. So what is meant by time travel?
Yeah, so time travel is like we are you are working on a production, you're working on a dev. So by mistake, or any of your developer or any of your tester by default delete that table itself, and you got to know like, okay, this table is not present, or some records is got deleted from that table itself, and you want to see that record. Then you can use these time travel features like 90 days if that time travel feature is included in your table. So by default, Snowflake is giving you, if you are using enterprise version, so Snowflake is giving you 1 day of time travel by default if you are not mentioning anything. Okay. So if
Like
you mention,
yeah, in the rollback feature in Oracle, right? So suppose we are deleting some records, we can do the rollback like that, right?
yeah, just like of a rollback only. But here the Snowflake is having of a 90 days. Means they are storing those records up to the 90 days. I don't think like rollback having those functionality about the 90 days of periods. Like
Yes.
if it are deleted and
Okay.
But we can say as a flashback with the help of time duration.
Yes. In the
So
Oracle, we have the flashback query, right?
flashback,
Like
yeah.
that once,
So
but that is also it is a kind of a stack basis it will come. So if we are keep on deleting the records, that our whatever the recent record will be at the top. So that also having some memory issue. So
yes, I
whatever
mean
flashback memory we are set, then that statements will accommodate step by step. So if you are executing, if you are deleting something for now, and if you are deleting something for other means, the first one will go to the second level, and the fresh one come to the first level. Like that, we will have some memory allocated for the flashback. So it will keep on accumulating. So depends upon that one. We can recover the data. First, we will use the rollback, and we will use the flashback query. But in the scenario of the Snowflake is time travel up to depends upon the table, depends upon the project. We have fixed some days, like 7 days or 90 days, like that. Even after that, also we can recover the data. If you work with the Snowflake support, they can recover the data from the Snowflake. So net, what is the time travel means? You never lost any data in the Snowflake. That is the main reason most of the banking clients are wherever the data is important for the project, they use for the Snowflake. So that is it. That's what Panda is trying to say. Yeah, you can proceed. Sandeep.
yeah, so with the time travel also we have that failover period that Gopi is mentioned. Like failover, it is after of 90 days. The failover is period of 7 days itself. So if you want the data that is already gone to the fail-safe period, you want to retrieve those data, then you need to connect to the Snowflake support, and obviously you can get the data. That's not a problem. But yeah, you cannot get the data from your side. You need to connect to Snowflake support, and they will help you to get the data. Okay. And failover system is only given you in business critical. business critical and VPS, virtual private Snowflake. It is not given in enterprise versions. Okay. After that, zero copy cloning. The cloning is also be there in a Snowflake, and it's a one more feature that is Snowflake is having, because it is a zero copy cloning. If you make a clone of any of a table, Snowflake is not charging any a single penny for that records, because it's directly connecting to that micro partition. So micro partition clustering is a different concept. But yeah, let's assume like you created a table in Snowflake. After that, you make a clone. So whenever a new table is created, it directly connected to that table. Okay, so that's it. It does not take any single penny for the cloning of any objects. Okay, drop in and restore in objects like drop tables, undrop command is there in Snowflake. It's just like of a time table only. Okay, Snowflake data sharing, how we are able to share it. See, your client have your client do not have the Snowflake account, but you want to share some objects or some of the data or any table data to that client itself. So you want to share a particular link. You can give a particular Snowflake link, username and password. They can able to log in into Snowflake, and they are able to see that particular record only. That's it. You need to assign a warehouse. You need to assign that grant statements, all those things you need to assign, and they can able to see it. So mainly that system is using of a data sharing concept. Okay, Snowflake secure views. In Snowflake we have three types of views: materialized, non-materialized, and secure views. So secure views is introduced in Snowflake itself. So how we are able to secure our views, no one able to see the body of that views. So that is called as a secure view. Okay, we will create and we will understand like why it is called as a secure view. Data sharing with non-Snowflake users. What I am explaining about how we are able to share in the data with non-Snowflake users, and data sharing using web query is the same only with the non-Snowflake users. DDL and DML commands, like in Snowflake itself, we will cover up SQL also, like the starting of a SQL to up to the arithmetic. Okay, all the things like some updates statement, all the SQL statements we will cover up here, and how we are interacting with Snowflake itself here. Because in Snowflake, the Snowflake accept SQL, JavaScript, Python, Java. I think these four are the things that is accepted, and how we are able to interact with them. Till now, I have worked with Python, JavaScript, and SQL. SQL is normal. Many companies are using SQL, but JavaScript and Python is mostly of a cases where the smaller project they have. Like the project just I have worked for Core Beach AIG. So that is a smaller project. They go with a Python. Python and JavaScript is for Nordea Bank. Nordea Bank, they have used JavaScript concept. Okay, here. Aggregated functions, having clause, join statements, sub queries, analytical functions like rank, dense rank, row numbers, all those things we'll cover up, and I will give you something around 25-30 questions of Snowflake SQL with the answers. Okay, so I think don't take any tensions about SQL questions and all those things. Okay, managing your Snowflake account, how we are able to manage. For admin perspective, also you need to understand. Till now, I have worked with the developers as a developer, but for something around 7 to 8 months, I have worked as an admin also. So admin part itself, you need to understand like what are the access part and what are the things that you need to be connected with your Snowflake account itself. Because admin, whenever we think about the admin, okay, they are using the things, they are running some query in prod. No, nothing like that in a Snowflake itself. You need to manage your resource monitors, your virtual warehouses, what are the queries running backwards, and if that query is taking a longer time, how you can manage that query. So those things is taken care by the admin also. And one more thing, that a repetition part, replication, sorry, not repetition, replication. So if your server you are running on EU server, but after let's assume like after 1 month or 2 months that server is gone down, then how you can replicate your entire project into a new server? There is a secondary server access is there in Snowflake, so that is taken care by the account admins. So system uses and billing, understand Snowflake credit, so that dollar in part, like how the Snowflake is getting pricing, and all those things we need to take care by as a admin part itself. So Snowflake credit engine, storage uses, Snowflake data transfer billing, account level credit, resource monitor that I have explained. Like in the resource monitor, you can mention a certain part, like if that warehouse, if 10 or 15 developers are running a same warehouse and that is more than 80%, then that warehouse is suddenly stopped at the time, because if it is more than 100, then you are getting more charges for that warehouse uses, and it is adding new clusters. So I will explain you what are the clusters, how to create a warehouses. Okay.
I have one doubt.
Okay.
Sorry,
Mhm.
to
Yeah.
cut you. See, actually, Snowflake is a cloud-based data warehouse. It's a SaaS tool, right? So then,
Yeah.
why we need this admin? So suppose if we are doing the, let's say we are having example Oracle. Oracle means we have to install and we have to create the table spaces, schemas, and all kind of stuff. But in the Snowflake, it is not required, right? Then what is the
No, it's not required, but why we need the admin part? Because see, there are you are not running a single environment. You are running on a different environment, dev, UAT, prod, and you do not you have multiple users. You need to create custom roles. Like you create a role as a developer role. Inside the developer role, you add in multiple users. Who users, whichever user need write and read and write access both, which users need only read access, like testers. Testers do not need any write access, they only need the read access.
yeah, got it.
Like
So
that,
it is a kind of a not database administrator, it's a kind of a application administrator. Right.
yes, yes.
Thank you.
Account admin in Snowflake, we have the highest role as account admin role is there. So account admin is just like of your lead, entire project lead. They only have that account admin role, and they can give you the access like public access or any other access they can give you, and that is the first 3 lakh structures. So at the time of managing of a Snowflake accounts and all those things, I will explain like how this structure is working, and whoever is newly created into Snowflake role, that whichever the access they can get it by default. Where am I? Yes, parameter management, users management, how we can do it is coming under this users admin role. Okay, custom concept like this introduction to Snowflake connectors, task, hosted agents, connection, how we are able to connect. Like if you are running a Python projects, Snowpark, it is coming under this customer concept is like is coming under as a Snowpark. So when you are writing a particular Python procedure and you want to connect to the Snowflake, so how you are able to connect? What are the import statement that is required? There is this custom import statement is there to connect the Python procedures to your Snowflake accounts. So import Snowflake connector is there. So how we are able to connect it? In Snowflake, we have the task, we have a streams, dynamic tables, how we are able to map in all those things. And for the security concept, we have the masking policies. I have not added here. Yeah, masking policy I have not added here, but yeah, there is a masking policy is there for the security perspective. So that is a row level masking, column level masking, how we are able to do these things. So I will explain all those things, but yeah, these are all the concept that we are cover up. Regarding for DBT, let me check.
Sorry, Sandeep, I cannot see anywhere some you said as you said a snow pipe or something, right? I couldn't see anywhere and snow pipe will cover in this.
Snowpipe is there, no? Snowpipe is there, yes. See here, Snowpipe.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, Snowpipe I will show you like how we are able to connect to AWS. I have the AWS account, Azure account. So how we are getting a file and how we send to directly to the Snowflake. Manually, one is manually and one is automatic. That is a dynamic one. How we are able to do those things. Okay.
Okay.
I have another doubt. Sandeep. See, whatever features you have explained, so there is the same kind of features are exist in some other databases like cloud-based databases. I mean, lot of like we have a Redshift is there, and Azure Synapse is there. Everything is there. So why we need this Snowflake? Any specific
So
reason?
yeah, Snowflake is like of your at first is like of a main feature is like of a we have this Snowflake as a SaaS platform. Okay, so software as a service. You do not need any of your hardware conceptors. You need a link. You have your user ID and password. That's it. You able to connect your Snowflake entirely account is. So whichever the access you have, like you are a developer and you have the access, like you can make any changes of any table, or you can see the record, select statement, anything like that. You can able to do those things, and it is seen by the other users also. It's not take any time. Snowflake have the features of time travel, micro partitions. Mainly the thing is like main features of Snowflake is like, first is this time travel feature, time travel and failover, and another one is how Snowflake is storing the records. Like, in the architecture part, I will explain like how Snowflake store the record. It is actually stored in internal columnar format. That's why this the output, whatever the query that we are running, the output of that record we are getting much faster as compared to any other databases. So that's why there is one more thing, and one more thing is like Snowpark. It is added much more, and currently it is used in many companies. Like, what's the use of this Snowpark? How we can use it? AI and ML thing, like Gen AI thing. How we are include those things in Snowflake. At that time itself, this notebook, if you know, like Jupyter notebook is newly added in Snowflake. So whatever your Python query and all those things, you can run in Snowflake with adding of your Snowflake libraries, like import Snowflake connectors and all those things. How you're able to run it and how you created the charts, like that. These are the things in Snowflake.
So the Snowpipe, we can load the data from
Yeah,
outside.
Snowpipe is also there. Yeah, correct. Snowpipe is there. So Snowflake, if you are any company is using of a Snowflake, they go with a Snowpipe. But some companies like they will go with Ultrix, or they will go for Apache Airflow, like that. But if they using Snowflake, they will directly go with a Snowpipe, because is by default is coming under in Snowflake. Why they are not going with Snowpipe itself? So loading of the records, why we are using the Snowpipe. So when we are going to the courses, you able to understand like what the uses of those things.
So do we have any kind of a scheduling with this Snowflake?
Scheduling, yeah, task is there. So in Snowflake, we have the task and stream. So task is like we can schedule, like you create a procedure and you want to run that procedure on a particular time, like every Sunday at 9 a.m. IST or 9 a.m. UST, whichever the time zone you want. So you can create a task, you can call that statement, call procedure, whatever the parameters you want, and you can schedule it using cron. So there is a using cron statement is here, cron, and with that you can give whatever the timestamp you want, whatever time you want, and it's run at a time itself. You do not need any manual intervention to run the task.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Yeah, and stream also there. So stream is just like of your capturing data things, like you create a table, you made any changes, you want like what are the changes that I have made, and what are the older changes that I have done. So like that you can create, you can add a stream on that particular table, and you can able to see what are the data newly added, newly inserted, newly updated, deleted statements on that particular table. You can able to see from
That is for that you use for change data capture.
yeah, change data capture, correct.
This is also, sorry, these have some time limit.
HTTs, yeah, HTTP is have the time limit of 40 days for offset. Offset is like once you taken the record from the stream, that stream is offsetted to a newly thing. Like there is no record. Like you have, let's take an example. We in the stream we have 10 records, some update, some delete, and some inserted record. You take only inserted record from that stream itself. You have taken any record from the stream offset got changed, and it is starting with the new things. You do not see any older records. That's a one more you can say of a less working on the things, like Snowflake is currently working on the stream part, because there is nothing any use if you take in any record from the stream and you do not able to see other records. So that's why whenever you are using any stream, you take all the records from that particular stream, and you can use it like you need only insert, you need any delete. That's up to you. But after taking out the record from stream, you are not able to see any other records after that taken out record. That's there in this stream. And if you're not taking any record from the stream having now 14 days of period. Like after 14 days, it's starting again a new steps.
I think we will discuss in detail now about stream. Still, I'm not clear.
Yeah. Stream things, task will create all those things, and you are able to see like what are the things we can do from there.
See, we are actually me and senior. It's not Oracle background. We are into SAP, so we are just switching over. So.
Yeah, definitely. All the things that I have mentioned here, all the things that I have mentioned here will do practically in Snowflake. I already have the Snowflake account. That's a paid account. In that paid account itself, we will see able like how we are using the task, how we are using the streams, how we can create a table, database, schemas, like all the things. Snowpipe, all the things we will do it manually, practically in Snowflake.
We may ask some silly questions also to you. That's the reason.
Yeah, definitely. See, when I'm learning at the time of Snowflake, now I'm also asking these same questions like, what's the use of team? What's the use of task? Yeah, definitely. That's not a problem.
See, actually, in the Snowflake, just wanting to tell one more thing. We are having a streams and a task in Snowflake, but most of the projects we are not using these streams and tasks because let's say we are having the task is nothing but a cron tab in Unix, right? So if we set up something with that cron sequence, it will execute the procedures or functions in the Snowflake. Like that only the task is configured. But most of the time the Snowflake is integrated with any other open source orchestration stream. Like the Airflow is there, right? So we are tagged that we are use the Airflow because Airflow is having a GUI based interface, right? So and also it is having more functionalities in the Airflow. Also we are using the same kind of sequence method, but instead of using the task, most of the systems we are using Airflow for that orchestration. So it is one another features. We can easily integrate with any other tools with the Snowflake. In the Snowflake itself, we are having a n number of connectors to work with marketplace. In the marketplace, we are having a wide range of tools. We can integrate the Snowflake with Python, Matillion to pull the data from outside to Snowflake, and we can push the data from Snowflake to some other sources, some other downstream sources. There are a lot of features in and out of with this Snowflake. So that is one point here.
Yes, many of the project, many of your banking projects, they directly use Apache Airflow to schedule the task and all those things. But for the smaller project like 4B, AIG or insurance types of project, they go with task itself because they do not want extra charges for the using of Apache Airflow and all those things. So that will go with the task statements. Depending upon your budget, like how you reduce your client budget. Main focus is like how you reduce your client budget. So if you can reduce your client budget, then anything the client is fully applicable, like okay, yeah, we can go with it or anything like that, they will go.
See, ultimately, this Snowflake is nothing but a kind of a storing place only. So it's a kind of a large cloud-based data warehouse tool it is. So we can store the data. So how we are getting the data into Snowflake and how we are pushing the data from the Snowflake. Within the Snowflake, we are having a wide range of options like Snowpipe, and Streams, and Snowpark, and even in the Snowflake, we have integrated with this Cortex AI. AI that is nothing but now. Suppose if you are giving some input as a document, AI itself it will analyze and it will give the details to you. Suppose if you ask any questions like ChatGPT, we are asking the questions and we are getting the output, right? Like that, in the business scenario, we can put all the data into the tables or documents. If the user is, if they type some query, what is that last year's sales revenue means, it will get the details from that Snowflake and it will share the results to the user. So like that, there are a lot of features are included in this Snowflake. That is another thing. And mainly why these guys are, why all the companies, most of the companies are accommodating this Snowflake is, it's first of all, this having a wide the architecture. First of all, in the Redshift and the Snowflake, if you are taking it for comparison, that architecture is totally different. In that architecture means, suppose if you want to extend the memory, suppose if you want to extend the processing space, and how that building will difference, and what is the difference between the cost and everything. So those things will give you that detailed difference. Okay, if you get a chance, we can go through this Redshift and the Snowflake comparison. That architecture is really a good thing. Totally separated, that processing space and as well as the computing space. Sorry, the storage and computing space. So both are different. In the Snowflake, I mean, in the Snowflake, it is both are different, but in the Redshift, altogether. Okay, suppose if we want to billing for Snowflake means, we have to put a separate billing for computing area. We have to put a separate billing for storage area. But in that, if you are trying to use any other cloud-based data warehousing tool, you have to, like, let's say we are having the Redshift, right? In the Redshift, we have to add the billing for both, including. Sometimes we need to we can extend only that computing part. Sometimes we can extend only that storage part. So the building is separate here. But in this Redshift, there is no such kind of facility. Suppose if we are extending something, we have to pay for computing and as well as processing. Sorry, computing as well as storage. So it will give a good difference in that billing. The customer mostly, at the end of the day, he will get a good revenue with the help of using this. You can proceed.
Yes. So let me know, you can see my screen. So this is of your Snowflake. This is not my paid account. This is a free trial account. Okay. So how you are able to create your Snowflake account. So I will explain like how you can create the things. But yeah, this is a main page of your Snowflake account. Okay. Just for your understanding perspective, for how you are able to know like what's a Snowflake like. So Snowflake main page is like this. Previously, Snowflake has two types. Like custom is there. This is a snow site, and one more is there. I forgot that name, custom AI or what? I forgot actually that name. But yeah, right now, whichever the newly account is given, they are directly giving you this snow site. Okay. So inside of a snow site, how you are able to run anything, how you create a warehouse, how you create a database objects, all those things I will explain. See, I created some of the things like warehouse things, tables, views, all these things I have created previously. So I will explain like how we can create a new role. See here, by default, we have this account admin. I say like we have a tree-like structure in roles, admin perspective itself. So here we have the account admin, that is a main role. Whenever you create your Snowflake account, Snowflake by default giving you this account admin role. But when you're working on the project, admin give you like the system admin roles or custom roles. Custom role like dev role. They created any dev role, and inside that dev role, they added users. Like you are currently user, you added into dev. I am admin. I created under testing, and I can add a new users. So like that, they are creating the role perspective, role and users. It is currently known as airbag. In Snowflake, it is known as airbag, role-based access control. So it is my profile, support, appearance, like all those things is there in Snowflake. But yeah, I will explain like how can we create in Snowflake, how newly account is created in there. Any doubt? Anything?
Snowflake is an on-premises or cloud? How it's running?
It's entirely in a cloud, so it is all as a SaaS only.
Okay. Is there any version or something like that Snowflake, like where somebody says some application, the latest version or something like that? Say for an Oracle, we have 11, 12, something like that. Isn't something like for Snowflake?
No, there is nothing any application you are running. Whenever you create a Snowflake, whenever you create a Snowflake, they will give you a link. That's it. Link, username and password. You currently log in into it, just like AWS. How you using the AWS S3? If you're using S3, then they will give you username and password. You directly using the S3 buckets. So like this, Snowflake is just like that.
Okay, and also see some of the keywords which are during your discussion, Fivetran, Matillion, and you said the Airflow. These are new to us. Okay, so probably we can discuss.
Yeah, Python things. Yeah, Python.
Yeah.
Yeah, Python. Apache Airflow, I will not cover up in this course, but yeah, I will show you like how we can create all those things.
Yeah.
But yeah, Python procedures, JavaScript procedures, SQL procedures, how we are able to create in Snowflake, how it is running. These three things I will definitely show you in the entire course. I have the code. I have my own project, so I will show from there.
Okay, thank you.
Srinivasan, Ramesh, Bala, Murugesh, sorry, doubts. In this
No
theory.
doubts. No doubts.
No, Gopi, I'm clear with this. Yeah.
You already know that, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's what. So he is giving a clear explanation also.
No. Okay, can you show how to create a trial account for us? I mean, Sandeep, you want to add some more with this content area? Otherwise, we can get into some real-time some.
Yeah, sorry, not able to hear you actually.
No, actually, these are the topics we are going to cover. So, everything we have explained. So, apart from that, can we give some hands-on experience? We can show some how to create the trial account, and we can
Yes.
Otherwise, whatever things you want to continue further, you can continue.
I think like I will take one class entirely for creating of Snowflake account and what's the inside of this Snowflake itself. I will show you entirely one class. So that's why I have kept for that. If you want, I can directly show you now itself. That's fine.
Yeah, we can show some glimpse to them.
Yes.
Later we can cover it entirely. How to go Snowflake is hooking, web UI, and the command line CN also we can see it.
So you can see my screen, right? Or
Yes.
this is actually So this is actually a Snowflake link here. So how we are able to create it. So first starting only I say like Snowflake giving you a 30 days of free period or $400. Okay, so $400 worth means what are the uses you are using in Snowflake. They will give you that uses of $400. After $400, the account is there, but you are not able to create anything inside of a Snowflake. Okay, so if you want to create anything, so just say like I just give my name. Okay, Sunday Pandra. I will give any email ID like this is not my mail ID. Okay, I just give you a normal mail ID and why you are signing up. Normal. This is for a personal learning and development. That's it. Once you create this thing, then the second page is looking like this. Okay, so here they will ask you like which of the company name. I say like TCS, job title as senior data engineer, and here the edition part, which edition you are going to use. So three edition is there. DPS is you need to connect to Snowflake support team. They will give you this virtual private Snowflake. So on that virtual private Snowflake, it is an addition of three things: standard, enterprise, business critical. But the all the things is there. But if you want to remove of some of the things like from business critical, you do not want fail safe, but some of the data security perspective or data protection you want. So like that, you can create your own virtual private Snowflake. So for that only, it is named as VPS itself. So when you are creating your account, so normally the standard is of a basic, enterprise, and business critical is for more security perspective. For now itself, we will go with enterprise. My version is also the enterprise version. Okay. So you create with enterprise, and here you need to choose your cloud provider. Cloud provider is like where you getting the records. Like in AWS S3, you are getting now some of the files, and you are loading from AWS to Snowflake, or from Azure to Snowflake, or GCP to Snowflake. On that basis, you want to go with AWS or Azure or Google Cloud. If mostly of the cases for many of the clients, they go with AWS, but yeah, for USIC client, they go with Azure. So it's depending upon your client, like whichever the cloud technology they are going to use. And here the region perspective, which region you are going to use. I mainly use EU Stockholm and EU Frankfurt, because the server is much more reliable and the region is much faster as compared to other regions. So I go with EU Stockholm, and I here create, I read, and agree, and get started. Okay, so you can skip all those things. Skip. See, you can get your ID, like a link. Use from that link you can create a username and password. How you are able to get the link? See, where it is. Like activate your account. So yeah, this is something around November 29 that I have created one account. So here you are getting this type of link. Snowflake, click to activate. They will give you this link. Once you click on that link, you can give your username and password, and after that you're able to log in. Let me, this is my account. Okay, let me log out. Sign out.
With the same user mail ID, we can create any number of accounts. The same mail ID.
Yeah, same mail ID you need to use. See here, sign in Snowflake. Once you click on that link here, this link, in for the first time when you click on that link, you need to create your username and password, and after that just activate. That's it. After that you get one more mail like this: welcome to Snowflake, and they will give you your username. My username is this, and dedicated login ID. So this same login ID is there in your previous mail. Okay, same login ID. You no need to change any other login ID. So if once you have created a username and password, see, I have created my username and passwords, one, and here if I click on my
And also one more note, somebody says it will ask for a credit card number and all these things. It will not ask.
no. For first 1 month, they do not ask anything for any payment perspective or anything like that. So you can directly use your account and you can directly use it. My account is already paid account, so they do not ask about this thing. But yeah, you can once 1 month is completed, they will ask you your credit card or debit card also you can give. I have given my debit card, so there is nothing any issue for that. But when you are giving on those things, which Snowflake account you are using, you need to be understand like whatever the table that you create, whatever the column or views you need to create, either you use it or either you directly drop those things. So for the first month that I have given is something around $12 or $13 for the starting of the month, because I do not much get idea on those things, and I just created randomly a Snowflake account. So after that I just manage, and right now I'm getting something of max of $4 or $5 max of monthly basis I'm getting. So yeah, you can use like that. You can try. I will paste it here. Okay, that login ID.
No, you can simply go to Google and search for Snowflake trial account. That's it. It will guide you till the end. Okay.
Yeah, see, once you click on Snowflake, the first account, first thing is for Snowflake, and start it for free. Start for free. So if you click on that, you directly get this page.
Snowflake is really very easy to use, and it is having a lot of flexible options in terms of when you come into that enterprise. It's having a lot of features. And if you start using this one, and you can, it's kind of a gateway for SaaS. After this,
And
it's a
all
start.
the things are there, and or just one in one line, like whatever the issue that you have in Snowflake, you can directly search it in Snowflake documentation. So all the accounts, all the details, all the things is there in Snowflake. If you stuck anywhere like time travel feature, art statement, or before statement, you can directly go to Snowflake documentation and you can get anything inside of a Snowflake part. So I at the starting of the Snowflake, I must not uses of the Snowflake documentation because who's read this documentation much more things like that. So once I getting used into the Snowflake, I get to understand like why this documentation is much more needed when you starting off the Snowflake site. But yeah, normal users or anything like that, you can go with Snowflake without accessing. I have my Postman account also. If you using the Postman like API, okay. One more thing, API connections also we will cover up in this course. Like if we go with inbound and outbound flow, you are sending some record to any third-party customer, and that third-party customer is also giving you some data in Snowflake. Without using AWS, how you are able to interact with that third-party customer. Like that is for T-Mobile, I have worked. So that T-Mobile, they are using Qualtrics. Snowflake is sending records to Qualtrics, and Qualtrics is sending records to Snowflake. So at the starting, we are using AWS S3, Lambda function we are using, and in that perspective, we are making the connection. But after that, we got to know like Snowflake has the that is external network access is there in Snowflake. There is a feature that is there, so you can use it and you can create direct a connection to your third-party customer like Qualtrics, and Qualtrics make a connection to Snowflake, and they can flow in between them. There is nothing need of any third-party customer middleware customer like AWS to make the connection between both.
Yeah, actually, what Sandeep is saying is in the Snowflake, whatever things we have framed the content, it is a fundamentals of the Snowflake. We can get started with it, and this is the kind of advanced with Snowflake. Snowflake is we can do a lot of things with the Snowflake, but first we can start with the fundamentals, and later so we can go for the advanced level. It is tricky.
Yeah, those are the high level things like advanced Snowflake you can say. So once we cover up the Snowflake, normal Snowflake things, core Snowflake, then we will go for this high level things like snow pipes or this API connections. All those things will cover.
Yeah, well, that is depends on the project. So if it is the project is APIs demand for the
Yes.
project means, then we can, because once you get into the job, you will face lot of changes, challenges. So that time the API changes are, also will come. So you can face that time. Okay. So also in this course we are planned to cover DBT also. DBT is nothing but it is a ELT tool. ELT means we are doing the extraction, loading, and transformations. Only, I can understand, Bala. So that main topics means what are the topics we are planned to cover in this Snowflake, right?
All the things are there, the main concept of Snowflake. So I think like I will cover up all the things. Don't worry here.
Europe, or the fundamentals, basic, and how to crack the interviews. In 4 5 interviews, we can get a job, comfortable job with Snowflake. Up to that level, we can show it. So whatever things we are showing here, that is once you get into the job to survive in the job. So these things will help for you to crack the interviews. If you get some high level knowledge about this topics, that is sufficient for us to get a job. You can easily crack the interviews. In this course, for the we are planned to cover only the fundamentals of Snowflake, fundamentals of DBT. So that part only we are going to cover. With the help of this course, you can crack the interviews and you can do some better activities with Snowflake. So these things we can sure on that. And for the resume preparation and putting it to Naukri, And those things we can help you. If you want, we can prepare some mock interviews also. Like, and apart from this, suppose we are attending this course, right? Suppose if you are not comfortable with this course, you can join in the other next batches also. It is not a problem. That is our policy. And if you are not happy with the course, if you are come back to us in 2-3 sessions, we will give an entire refund for you. It's not a problem. Okay. Because
at the end of the courses, Gopi, you will give some use cases, no, for
not in the end of cases, Mati. During the process also, you will get lot of use cases. You have to make your hands dirty. And
Yeah,
only
yeah.
you will, it's a Snowflake. We can easily explain. We are keep
Yeah.
on pushing the data from AWS to Snowflake means how you will know. So we will give a scenario to you, and you can also come up with your own questions because we are only 10-20% only we can explain about the concept, and the practical from our end it will give you from 40 to 60%. Only if you ask the question, then only the Snowflake will get complete. Ask more question, even if it is a silly question, even it is a mostly welcome for. So we can address all the questions. Whatever questions you have, we can address it. So, Sandeep, we have DBT topics.
Yeah. Let me see. So DVD is actually in one more page, so that's why I'm not able to show you. So yeah, this is a DBT concept that we have covered up. So what is actually a DBT? The uses of DBT and how you are running all those DBT models. Like DBT is just like of an addition of your Snowflake. So it is of your you can say you can run the entire project by using of a DBT. Okay, so you want to run fast of a table, then views, then procedures, then it directly go to your which Power BI or Tableau, whichever the reporting tools you want, you can directly do with this DBT concept. So how we are creating a model, how we run a model itself, modules, refer modules, ref function is there in DBT. So all those things will cover up in this DBT concept. So DBT is just like of a 5 to 6 classes will cover up entirely DBT. Basic concept you got from DBT. Here. DBT end-to-end flow, DBT cloud setup, materialized views, what is model, how we can create a model, execute a model, refer a model, excluded model, DBT project, YML files will be there. So how we create a DBT project itself, configs, the sources we have, DBT test and DBT packages. What are the test is there? Like import statements is there, DBT packages is there. So just like of an import statement, it's having its own import packages. So how we can include it and I can run it. So we'll cover up this DBT part also.
Yeah, what is the question, Murgeshwari?
Actually, in what aspect DBT is complementing Snowflake? Because you told us that DBT is a ELT tool, right? In Snowflake itself, we can use those transformation kind of things, right? Then why we are using DBT and what aspect it is complementing it?
Actually, in the Snowflake, it is not a ELT tool, it is not a ETL tool. Snowflake is a cloud-based data warehouse. So where we can store all the data. So we can integrate with any ETL tool, ELT tool with this Snowflake. So DBT is one of the ELT tool, and DBT is not a full ELT tool. ELT means extracting, loading, transformation. With the help of DBT, we can do only the transformation. At the end, you will get only the transformation. But this E and L will happen in Snowflake. Not only the Snowflake, any kind of data warehouse tool, you can use that tool. So once the data got loaded into the Snowflake, and on top of that, DBT will play. It will create the model. It will do all kind of business logics, and it will create a separate model. Model in DBT, we can say it's model, and in the Snowflake, it will create as a table. The table, it contains all the transform data, which will have all the implemented business logics and scenarios. So those things will help us, the data science team and business analyst.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
In the DBT, we have two variants. One is DBT Core and as well as DBT Cloud. DBT Core is free version. DBT Cloud is a paid version. DBT Cloud, we can, whatever things we are doing it with this DBT Core, we can do the same thing in the DBT Cloud, but it is a cloud front. That is a difference here. And some deployments we can do it with DBT Cloud. The deployment part we need to manually take care of this DBT Cloud. So those and all we can cover in this topic. Okay. So any other questions, please?
Yeah, nothing from my side. You have any
So
question?
in the DBT, we can help you to set up DBT in your local machine, and we will give you that detailed use case scenarios for you, how to create the table, how to connect with the external system, how to create the models, and how to deploy the models into your lower environment to upper environment. So those kind of things we can cover in the DBT. So we in this fundamentals of Snowflake plus DBT, we will cover these many topics. This will help you to track the interviews comfortably, and you can do. I mean, it will help you in that initial stage of your after getting the job. Only the Snowflake is not going to get a job. Learning the DBT alone not going to get the job. If you know that combination, if you learn the combination of Snowflake, DBT, and any other tools, that will increase the possibility to get the job in the market. The Snowflake market, that salary range would be 1 into 3. If you have 10 years of experience, you can get 30 lakhs of salary per annum. This is the standard one, and that is up to depends upon your current CTC. If you have a CTC of 20, then you can get 60 to 70% of hike definitely in the market. In the next session, we will cover how to open that Snowflake account and how to create the database tables, and the basic setup for the Snowflake we can cover the next topic, next session.
Not yet discussed about the batch timing, Gopi. So can you give the details also?
Batch timing per week, we are planned to cover 3 sessions. So the entire course will be 2 months. Per week, we are having 3 sessions. One session will be 1 hour to 1.5 hours, because we need to move to office. That's the reason we plan to start the session by 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock up to 9:30, not more than that. So we plan to cover the session per week, 3 sessions, up to 20 to 25 sessions max. So within that, we can cover everything. Whatever things we have assured, we can cover those topics for you. And we can help you to get that resume to be ported in that Naukri portal. And we can prepare some mock interviews for also. So this is the session timing. This is about session timing. 8 o'clock to 9:30 per week. Maybe Tuesday, depends upon our availability. Tuesday or Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, like that. So depends upon our, we can interact everything. We can share the details in that chart. If no other topics, we can wind up Mati Sini. Thanks for joining, everyone. Englishwari.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you all.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.